Hi, people call me Freddie. I build these kilns. This is a 24 by 48 inch kiln. This is a real standard one that we're building. And we wanted to show how to replace an element in a kiln, but we thought it'd be easier to do it on a kiln that we're building so that you can see from up above how we're doing it. The control panel that's on the side of this kiln is pushed back a little bit. And it's pushed back so that it's not subject to heat of the door being opened. It's about 10 inches back that the element comes in. So the element has to come in the kiln, go forward just a little bit, drop down to the next groove below it, go all the way around the kiln, go back up, and come back to meet the connection. So the connection strip is here in the control box. This is handy to not have all of the wiring of everything else in the way. So you can see the top elements, the top 8 elements are already in. And they come in these little holes, wrap around this stud. So from this point, it has to go forward, drop down, then go around the kiln, go back up, and come back out here. Okay, so you'll see that. My point is, it's going around the kiln twice. Now, a lot of times it's right, they come in and out at the same point here, and it's easier to make them. Okay, so these are a little bit more complicated. So the elements that we're putting in, if you order them unstretched, as most people do because it's $10 or $15 cheaper per element. All of the elements are the same in my kilns. And let the controller take care of keeping the kiln even. The door elements are the same as the floor elements, and the floor is the same as the wall elements until you stretch them. Then electrically they're the same. They all give out the same amount of heat, but they're made to fit differently. Okay. So because this coil, this element has to go around the kiln twice, I'm going to measure what one of those grooves is to this point. It's about 69 inches. So I need to stretch this element to 138 inches. Okay? They start out about 54 inches, so it's roughly 3 times. So we're going to stretch this element to 138 inches. As I stretch it, if I stretch it to 138, it'll relax and come back. I'm going to have to stretch it further than 138. I'll demonstrate that. This is my handy hook tape measure. If you're doing this alone, it's difficult. If you have a helper and no vise, somebody can hold it with the vice grips at the end of the wire and hold the tape measure here as you walk backwards, okay? But I'm usually working alone, so I've built this hook on the tape measure. And I'm looking for 138, but if I just went to 138, which is there, it's gonna relax back, okay? It relax back all the way to 92. So I know I need to go at least 40 inches. Okay. So 138, I'm going to go to 138 plus 40 would be 178. I'm going to go to 175 because the math is a little easier in my head. Okay. 175 relaxes back to 120. I'm looking for 178, so I need 18 more inches. So I add that 18 inches onto 175, and it comes out to 193. I'm going to go to 193, run into that kiln, and come back looking for 138, and I am there. Okay? Now, full disclosure, my groovy little tool leaves a little unstretched part at the end, okay? I'm gonna bend that to 90 degrees because it's going in the wall. All right, now, camera person, could you climb up that ladder? The other reason we did this is so that we could take a video from up above. I think it'll be easier to see. Okay. And this is a little bit more art than it is science. There's a lot of, we'll call it skill, that goes into putting this in. But first of all, you can see on these, when you look, they're coming in here and coming back on this one. I'm gonna hold this at that spot, and with my thumb, I'm gonna unwind this one groove, okay? Now, I unwound that one brick height, okay? I should unwind it just a little bit more and put what looks like a C shape, a curve shape on it so that it can go around this brick. Each of these bricks where they pass over have a little bit of a cutaway, but it's not that deep, so a little groove, a little curve will help. I feed that in, and when I put my thumb here on the corner, I come out. I have to make a bend there, so I stretch that just a little bit and bend it 90 degrees. Okay. I'll do one more, and I'll pull it out and I'll bend it. Now, at this point, I start to get nervous. Was my stretch accurate? I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. I'm gonna go over to here. No, I'm way short, okay? So I'm going to start off by pulling this and pulling this and pulling this. Let me tell you why this isn't usually a problem. The infrared heat bounces around. That's how heat transfers at high temperatures. So any irregularity in the stretch of an element, not that big a deal from a heat transfer point. It's more of a visual thing that would upset us, make us question the skill. I'm going to unwind this one, twist it so they're both doing the return. A little bit of a curve on it, and stick that in the groove. Now let's see where we're at again. We're much better. As I do this, I'll probably end up just right. I'm gonna open that up for the corner and bend that. Check that one more time. I need just a little bit. Okay, I'm bending this to 90 degrees. Sliding it in. Bring it back in the groove. And I pulled it out just a little bit because the holes are higher than where the element was, okay? Okay, that looks pretty good. None of these are pinned. So I've got some work to do. These are straight pins, and I'm using straight pins on this kiln because these are K25 bricks. So I hold that element, make sure it's down, as that element's exaggerated, that element's doing this. So I want to cross over the bottom wire at the bottom of that circle. I want to cross it with this pin, hold it with my finger, and gently tap it into place. Key word there was gentle. You don't want to hit the brick. The coil is in a circle and it's spiraling this way. I want to use these straight pins to cross over the bottom of that curve. I'm holding my finger there, thinking that it's going to keep me from hitting the brick. I don't know if you can see that, Liza, clearly. Let's try this side. Maybe this will be better. So on this one, I go this way. You see how the wire went across the bottom of the coil? Okay, so what I tend to do is work all the way down, and then all the way down, all the way down. I like to do things systematically because then I don't have to think where have I been. But basically you need to know that on this size wall, I would put 4 pins in each groove. 4 on each side, okay? Slow, deliberate. Okay. That's the key. Okay, now, let me get a tool here, Eliza, and follow me over to here. I'm going to cut these off. So they're out about, let's say 3 inches or so. It's not critical. I'm going to take this with my lineman's pliers, grab the end, and tightly wrap it around that stud, okay? These are stainless steel 1/4 inch 20 nuts. Put them on there. You want to make this a nice tight connection. And because of that, as that wire comes over, I'm not looking for it to overlap a lot. I don't really want it to overlap. I just want it around that stud tight. Okay, if I overlap, then it's only got a connection in that one spot where it overlapped. Looks like it overlaps there, but it's really not, okay? I'm going to cut off the excess because this is full of electricity. And this is, in electrical parlance, this is called a whisker. That whisker could arc onto this stud next door, okay? We don't want that happening, so we cut it back. I'll tell you, one of the secrets of electricity is if it looks like good craftsmanship, it probably is. If it looks sloppy, it probably is. So we like everything to look as sharp as can be, okay? If that's not real clear, look at the other video on putting elements in the door. That probably might show you a little different perspective on putting elements in. Thanks.